This episode is brought to you by Jersey Mike's.
Oregon State is going back to the NCAA Tournament.
Points in the Paint, episode 12, the best one because Mary Murphy and I are in Las Vegas at the Orleans Arena with the champion. Oregon State head coach Scott Rueck, fresh off the victory. Oregon State defeating Portland to win the WCC title. Coach, congratulations. I'd love to get into the head and heart of you, and maybe you can speak for your staff when you looked up at that clock and thought, by golly, we did it.
Nah, nothing surprised me, I guess.
Wow, come on. Seriously.
This group, this team, there's something to them. And we've just seen these flashes of greatness for so long. And over the last month, they've put it together.
Mm-hmm.
I think, looking back a week or two ago, we got beat with a big lead at St. Mary's.
Right.
And it was like the perfect lesson to fuel this run in knowing that if we take the foot off the gas, we can be average and we need to keep it on. And so keep going has been the message. And this team just kept going. And so I loved our defense. I've loved it for a month and a half, maybe. We've been so consistent. And then, they've just taught me not to be surprised by anything, because they're just going to fight to the end. And I'm just so proud of them. So, yeah, I'll be honest. There were some pinch me moments,
How
when
not they?
seconds to go, and it's like,
I realize it's yours.
I don't know. I'm just so grateful.
But
I just feel so grateful.
You go back to November, and Ann and I did a number of early games, and then December and January. And, some of that was rough, man. Averaging, 18, 19, 20 turnovers a game, just shooting. I mean, 3-point shooting was just like, pin the tail on the donkey, with the blindfolds on. I mean, it was rough at times. Did you ever really dream that you could make it to the NCAA tournament with this team? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I was praying. I was hoping for double figure wins. Honestly, there was a stretch
I get that.
where there was, we had so far to go, and the thing that had to go the furthest was the belief in each person. It's 12 role players that are having to form a team and become alphas and become go-tos and play 35 minutes consistently in order to beat a great team or a good team. It's seeing the floor and moving the ball on time so that you can get a good look from three. It's knowing how to set a screen, remembering to box out. It was every little thing. And so this story is, from very... we covered as much ground as maybe a team I've ever been a part of has covered.
Yeah, it's obvious to see the progress. I mean, your quote, and this goes back to November, nothing comes easy, every game's a puzzle. That's what you said back then, and it held over to today. We could have like 3 podcasts and just talk about every single player, but the development of Kennedy Schuler from, a turnover machine in November to a championship point guard today, has been really something to watch.
Competitor, warrior, winner. And I know that's who she is. I saw that when she competed in high school, and you could just see this person that has so much in her. Now being asked to be the primary one and handle every different look that you get and understand every little thing while you're doubting yourself as a shooter, which weighs heavy on her, and weighed way too heavy on her. That's one aspect of the game, and yes, that needs improvement. It will come. You're running the team, though. You've got more things to be worrying about than getting down because you missed a shot. And so for a while, the shooting weighed on her too heavily. And then, understanding the language of basketball and the language of being a point guard in a system.
In your playbook.
And a playbook that has a few sets in it, that's a lot. And having a huge role defensively. And so, there were stretches where, it was like, okay, handhold, every possession.
Yep.
And then obviously you guys especially have seen her growth in just where she now doesn't have to think. She's just feeling and calling plays on her own and just reacting to the game and the situation and knowing how to maintain, the pace of the game and time and score. And it's just been remarkable, but it doesn't surprise me. It was only a matter of time.
Nice.
the puzzle pieces that you guys are referencing too. You needed some to come in from the transfer portal. Bolden and Fajeda been absolutely huge for you to watch the maturation and growth and progress of these two players from November to this day blows my mind. And they have been huge in terms of your success, correct?
Correct. Two players, I didn't know when we first learned of them that they knew each other. I didn't know their backstory. The staff is like, hey, they're, this kid that's in the portal, and she's actually from Eugene. And I had never heard of her.
Okay. LaSalle transfer,
yep. Goes to Eastern Arizona, then LaSalle, and now she wants to come back home. And I watch her play, and I'm like, man, she's pretty good. Why do I not know about her? And that looks like somebody we need. Let's sit down together. Let's get her here if she's interested. And then with Kat, being at Baylor, there was some really good film of her to get to know her game, and see her explosiveness. I also saw the way she struggled shooting the basketball, but I saw her ability and the potential in her, and in both of them, I should say. But both of them have been somewhat role players with not a lot asked of them, and have a long ways to go to be go-to players with us, or even starters with us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, if you guys want this, let's give it a shot, because I think you got a huge upside. The thing I knew right off, they're awesome people. They're super cool. I just love being around them. They're great teammates. And so investing in them every day has just been a joy, helping them through these hurdles, and this core belief that wasn't there, that needed to be there, is what I love doing more than anything else. It's just like filling them with confidence, holding them accountable, of course, to believing in themselves and what they know that they can do. And then we've seen the fruition of that, just complete transformation.
Unbelievable. God.
Yeah. And so I just couldn't be happier. I think, T has, she kind of hit that spot a while back. I felt like maybe a couple months ago, where, I can put you on the floor for 40 minutes if we need to, and we actually need you out there.
Mm-hmm.
Kat, a little more inconsistent, a little bit longer. And so this last month, though,
wow,
she has taken us to another level, using her at the 4, the 5 sometimes when Kelsey goes to the outside, and then using her at the 3. We used her at the 3 the other night in stretches when we went with our big lineup. And so she's made us so dynamic.
And Scott, in this tournament, you defeat number 5, San Francisco, who played a great game and had a great season. You beat the number 1 seed, Gonzaga. You beat the number 2 seed, and your good friend, Michael Meek. And here you go to the NCAA tournament. The gift that was the WCC for you guys. I loved what you set up on stage, that it gave your job and your program a mission when you knew that you were going to be a part of this conference.
Yeah, we're really fortunate, that they welcomed us in, and it's a conference I've observed. Normally, I'm in my office watching this game, getting ready for the tournament, because our previous tournament was over already, and so I've always admired it, and watching Portland and Gonzaga battle,
it seems like every year,
every year it's like just this battle, and two programs that I respect immensely. And now to be here today playing in that game was pretty wild, honestly. But we needed what they provided, and this conference it's so well coached. I just, like, every night is this unique, like, let's use the word puzzle that we have to put together. And it's helped us grow so quickly, seeing so many different styles of play. There are a lot of styles of play in this league.
There sure are.
You're facing teams that play 5 different defenses and so we have developed because of this conference this year, and because of those styles and how tough everybody is. You mentioned San Francisco. That game, the way they defend is so gritty, so tough, so hard to play.
Losing their best player.
Yes. And that was tragic. What a great talent she is. Yes. And when I watched her play, because it was right before we played them that she was injured.
Right.
So we prepared for her. Her presence, you won't believe this maybe, but she reminded me of Ruth Hamblin. And you'd have to go back, she's not 6'7", but the way that she positioned herself and took away the glass, and so that's just one example, but every team has examples like that, but battling them and then Gonzaga, I mean, that's epic every time. I mean, how do you have 3 games like that
I don't.
against the same?
You don't. But you did.
But you did.
Yeah.
Now we did.
But you did.
Yeah.
You've been around the track many, many times. Your tenure at Oregon State, you have seen some incredible results. The run to the Final Four, all those Pac-12 championships back to back to back. You won the 2016 Pac-12 championship. This is your first conference championship since then. What does this mean to you and to your program?
Man, that's special. Yeah, it's been a while since we cut a net.
Exactly.
And so that felt great today. I think what this year has been is just proving, that there is stability at Oregon State when the outside world has seen nothing and read nothing, heard nothing but instability. What's next? All these things. Well, it's our program. Our culture is our culture. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to be competitive. We're going to develop these players into their very best versions and help them see themselves differently and beyond what they thought possible. It's what we've done forever. And that's not changing, so we just need an opportunity to prove it, and I knew that was just going to take time. And, and for today, maybe we just sped that process up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah.
One really special player for me is AJ Marotte because she stayed. And what has she meant to you and to Oregon State basketball?
Well, that was my last word to the team today was about AJ.
Yeah.
And, I gave a little speech in there because this was amazing, what we just were a part of. Yeah. I said this could be a movie. I told
be a 30 and 30.
I said this to the team in November. I said, you guys have an opportunity to become a movie. Someday.
They said that. They mentioned that.
And it's true. It's true. I mean, I saw the pieces and I saw the talent, but I also saw all the hurdles in the way. But if we could clear those hurdles, there's a chance. Well, AJ's the one, that has been through it all. And if you want to know the last 4 years in our program, where AJ's the only one that's been a part of all of it, she's seen 16 teammates leave, 8 due to COVID, 8 because of conference realignment. And AJ is one of those amazing people that pours her heart out for everyone. And she's everyone's friend. She is the hub of this team and has been since her freshman year.
Wow.
She brings the joy. She brings the spirit. We gave her all the credit a year ago, with our run for creating the atmosphere. And she did it again this year. And she just, it created the environment that makes everybody want to be there and achieve together. And so for me to have a partner like that through all this chaos that we've been, which has been hard on all of us, in our ways, even though we can understand it all, it's still been difficult because we care and we like our people, for her to get to have a net around her neck today meant the world to me. I mean, it's just like the most beautiful thing that you can possibly imagine. It's so well deserved.
Before we let you go, let's talk about what's coming. What is coming? The NCAA Tournament. You are going as champions of this conference. Okay, director, movie man. What could be next for this club?
Well, first off, we're going to do our very best to represent the conference as best we can. That's what we do. It's who we are, and we're honored to get to do that. Second, I'm not somebody that puts limits on anything, and so
Love it.
I'll be excited about whoever it is, and obviously it probably won't be the most favorable situation, understanding our current situation and our resume as we've built this team this year. However, whatever, we loaded up the non-conference with tournament teams, for the reason to develop as quickly as possible, that we are happy to play whoever, wherever. And, here we are. With another incredible opportunity. And so whatever it is, wherever it is, whoever it is, we'll be excited for, and we'll prepare well for, and we'll give it our best shot.
Scott, I just have to share as a former coach, it's been a long time, but I just, every year, this is what you do. There's been a lot great coaching jobs in the country this year. This is one of the best. And I know you're not going to be named National Coach of the Year, but you certainly are one of the top coaches of this year, because what a job.
Yeah,
just
thank you.
What a job.
That means a lot. Appreciate it.
Congratulations
And
to you and to your kids and to this wonderful, wonderful reminder to all of us. Dig down, dig together,
Keep believing.
keep believing.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Scotty.
great job.
Appreciate you guys.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah, thank
Really great job.
That's head coach Scott Rueck. This guy is the head coach of the WCC Women's Championship team, Oregon State, and they are going dancing. We will continue with our podcast in just a moment. This episode is brought to you by Jersey Mike's.
Scoops it. Keeps it high. Ferreira stepping through. Follows her own miss. Can't Ferreira.
Welcome back. Points in the paint. Champions. Mary Murphy and I are surrounded by champions. And we're starting with you, the centerpiece. Cat Ferreira, most outstanding player of the WCC Championship. Your mindset coming into this week. What were you thinking? And especially as the clock was starting to wind down today, your emotions then as well.
Yeah, the mindset was dominate.
Oh.
Why not us? Like we worked so hard for this, so why not us? So it was just all the mindset the whole week. Dominate this game.
Your 8th double-double of the season, and at one point I compared you to Cheryl Swoops when you got out in the passing lane and got it and went the other way. I mean, the other play, the two-handed tap-in like you were setting up for a spiker. I mean, just all over the floor. Where did the energy come from? Day 3 of 3 games in a row.
I would say my teammates, like that's what we can do. Like we can bring all this energy, like they believe in me, and like I take this as my role on the team, like bring energy every game.
You show up in Corvallis, and Scott Rueck probably hands you that playbook with like 472 plays. You're like, oh my God, what is happening? Like, how long did it really take you to kind of adjust to what life with Scott and this staff was in this team?
I would say not long. And having Coach Eli on the side, speaking Portuguese sometimes, Cat, do this, da, and I was like, okay, I got you, but not too long. Like it's easy to be around them on the court and off the court.
You
like
think of your teammates, and I mean, look at the two behind you. AJ Marotte, Kelsey Rees, veterans. Ladies, speak of the importance of Kat to your team. Just that energy factor that you needed, you had to have, you counted on, and she delivered.
Yeah, I mean, last game, after the game media, I was talking about how you get into rebounds that I don't even know, like, how it's possible you get up there. The two-handed tips, like, think of that. Are just insane. You're insane. And having that energy and that type of person that can do that stuff is huge. Like, we count on you so much, and you come through every game, and it's been really amazing to see you in the front.
Thank you.
You know, Kat, we saw you back in November, and the player that you were in November versus the player you are in March is just so dramatically different. What happened to your game from that time in November to now?
I feel like it's got everybody on the team, like, that's the special about our team. Like, we always have room to improvement, and like it's day by day. We take day by day, game by game, and just like learning through everything and just like growing.
But the decision to transfer, and we said you averaged a point a game last year. And when they announced that you were the most outstanding player, I saw you just kind of take your hands into your face, like just at that exact moment. What were you experiencing? It felt like tears were coming to your eyes.
Just like now.
Just like now.
I don't know. I just didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe I could have played, like being here, like being around people that believe in you. Like every day they're gonna push you through. Like, come on, Kat, let's go. Like just like makes so easy to be there playing.
And Kelsey, I know you know what that feels like. I mean, you came here and you've never averaged double figures in your whole life in college, and you come here, you're the leading scorer on this team. What changed for you this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think coming into this year, obviously last year was so great. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
And then I knew that my role was going to have to shift. And I had so much faith in the coaches and the staff here and all of my teammates, and they believed in me. And it was the first couple of games finding that belief in myself kind of as well, and making sure I was taking shots that were good for the team and good for me. And then when I did get those shots, that confidence, and I think as the seasons come on, it's been so nice to see that grow and see the trust my teammates give me just give me so much confidence in myself, and I couldn't do any of it without them.
AJ, you've been a rock here. You have been an absolute rock. Your decision to stay, you blasted on social media, and Beaver Nation just takes a knee with gratitude that you are staying. Why did you stay? What has this meant to you, this journey, this ride? You're going back to the NCAA tournament. This, as great as last season was, and it was, take nothing away, it was as good as it gets. This is a different kind of Cinderella, and this will go down as one of the best seasons, I think, ever in Oregon State history. Why did you stay? What did this season mean to you?
I'd say because of Scott. I know sometimes that sounds like maybe I'm a little bit of a suck up, but I really did. First to stay for him. I said,
You said a mic up there, lady.
I texted him when he, when everything started to happen in the spring, when people were entering the portal. I texted him. I said, as long as you're not going anywhere, neither am I. I just have that trust in him, and I know he has that trust in me. The first day I got to Oregon State, my freshman year, he told me, this is a marathon. Like, it's just all going to go up. You got to wait for your time. And, now my time is here, and it's been special.
What has this year meant to you? And you're going to keep going. You've got the tournament to go to, the big dance. But this season, when you start 0-6, you're getting beat by double figures. You're getting steamrolled. And yet, you start winning those overtime games. You finish the regular season strong. What does the season mean to you?
It's just incredible. We've experienced so much and been through so much. Each of us have crazy individual story. I mean, these two, stepping into these different roles.
Yes.
Every person on that team, you can go down and dive into their story, and it's just the craziest thing. And to see us all come together and be this successful together after not knowing if any of us could do it and having lots of doubt, it feels amazing. I'm really proud of everyone, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this with them.
For you guys, when did you start thinking, even the letters NCAA? Because I know when we did games in November, we're like, oh man, this could be a really long year. And here you are, you're champions, and you're going. You're going to see your name on Selection Sunday. When did you start? When did it start seeping into your brain? Like, maybe this could really happen.
Yeah. I think that's always been the goal.
Wow.
Every college basketball.
It is November when you guys were getting smoked.
Yeah, I think we saw.
Teachers like,
I think we saw at training and that UConn game. We talk about it a lot, but that second half of that UConn game, we saw our defense kind of step up a notch, and it was like, okay, that is going to be our mindset. Our defense is going to be our mindset, and then hopefully, if we can get it going on offense as well, then we can hopefully make a run in the WCC. I think there was obviously different games and different times where you're like, maybe not this year, but I think overall, we know the coaches believed in us. I remember Scott, it was in the locker room after Arizona State. I think we got beat by like 20. And he walks in, he's like, this year could be a movie. This year could be a movie. Like, there's been so much that has happened and so much change, and we have the pieces to make it run and get to where we're standing right now, I guess. And so yeah, that was a big thing for us. He believed, and I think that helped us all believe. And yeah.
This season has been crazy. Like I said,
You can't make this up, can you?
right, we've had the craziest dips and then the craziest guys. Yeah, it's just like insane when we keep winning like this, breaking this run of the tournament. It's like, oh my gosh, guys, like, how did we end up here?
Okay, so let's go to this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lord have mercy, the first two games. Let's start with you. I mean, you guys blow a huge lead to USF.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're trailing. And all of a sudden it's a busted play. And all of a sudden you're chucking something up. And boom.
And you're a hero.
And the one bucket of the game for you, the entire game, is something that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Walk us through that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, obviously, Kat had a great game in that first half, especially, and really helped us going into that second half in such a good position. And then they came back as we knew they would. They're a great team, have great players. And then, unfortunately, it got closer than we would have liked. And then down the stretch, I knew in my mind, I just kept saying that quote, like, might not be your game.
I love that. It's my favorite line ever. Yeah.
And coming into that final play, I knew I was going to get the ball, and then obviously I fumble faked it, and shimmy. Once I recovered it, I knew I didn't have much time, and honestly, it probably put me in a better position because I had to get low to recover the ball, and then was able to kind of use the contact to float it up. And obviously, you know, I've been in that position, I think 3 times now where I've had that last shot and haven't been able to get it to go. And for that one to see it go up, it felt decent off the hand, and then to see it go in and see everyone's reaction was, yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Kept us moving.
Yes. And the first person to greet you was Kennedy Schuler, who, you know, has made 3 now this year.
Oh, yeah, she's wild. She's clutch in all those big moments.
You guys, she didn't score much today, but where would you be without the development of Kennedy Schuler and just her mindset and what she does for you all?
AJ, you can speak to that. You know, and obviously Kennedy, all right, the marathon, got it. Kennedy was playing behind Hunter. Okay. And then boom, Kennedy, it's your time. Here are the keys to the car. Go.
Yeah, that's insane. You know, coming off your freshman year, not getting a lot of playing time, not getting that experience, and then being thrown into playing 40 minutes a game as the point guard, and this team for pressuring her. They're all over her. They're kicking her butt sometimes, and she just keeps fighting back. She keeps punching back. And it's so incredible to watch because she has the hardest job on the floor. Yeah, she continues to pull through for us and get us open shots, get us great looks, kick to the rim like she's 6'5". She's insane, and I'm so proud of her. She deserves every second of this.
And how about Sela Heide, you guys? I mean, how important? You know, we talked before this game that the Twin Towers needed a game today, and Sela delivered.
Rim protector right there. Both of them. No, she's been great, and she's come so far too. That confidence, obviously, didn't get great minutes last year, and then to come in this year and know that she was got to be a big piece of our game and a big part of our wins. If we were to win, she was the team to step up. And then it's so fun playing with her. I love doing the little like 1 dribble jump pass over the top because I know as long as she's in a good position, like she's got it, and she finishes at such a great rate. I think she's at like, I don't know, 70% field goal rate.
What's the first time? It's a pretty high. It's very close. No one's going to fact check you on anything because you're the Miss Engineer AI, the smartest person in the world. So we're not going to mess with you on that.
So no, point. She's doing great, and to see her start to grow into getting those blocks too. I think at the start of the year, a lot of her blocks came when people came to her, and now she's gone out to people. She blocked someone on the 3-point line yesterday.
I know. Yeah, I know.
So
would you guys agree? Mary and I were talking about how your story, your journey, which isn't over yet, transcends the West Coast Conference. It's your first year in a conference you don't know. You're playing against teams you've got to scout for the first time, get to know them. You're an affiliate member. I don't know if that felt weird at first for you two coming back. And of course, you're coming in thinking, well, okay, this works for me. But how was it adjusting to the WCC? And at what point did you start to feel comfortable with the teams that you were scouting?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I think last year, obviously, we knew everyone. We knew people on every single team. And then this year, we didn't have that much knowledge about all the teams. Obviously, we knew Gonzaga and Portland had always been up there. But we didn't know too much about anyone else. And I think it was when we started playing them the second time and head coaches were all like, oh, now, like, there's not hatred there, but you know how there's like that competitive fire. Once you start to get to know them a bit more, there's even more. And yeah, I think that was probably one.
Is there another chapter to be written for this club? You will find out where you're going. Selection Sunday, NCAA Tournament. Help us understand the next chapter to one of the best stories in college basketball coast to coast. Go. Is there another chapter?
Oh, of course. Of course. We're not done yet. There's more to go.
Yeah. Kels, before we give it to Mop?
Yeah, our motto this week has been keep going, and that's our plan.
Yeah, keep going. That's our phrase right there.
Can you shock the world a little bit? Can you go in there and think, if you underestimate us, it will be at your peril?
Yeah, I think we're confident, and you've got to be confident coming into this tournament. It's such you watch it every year, and your favorite stories are those Cinderellas.
That's exactly right. And you guys have the glass slipper on.
And we're excited about it. We think we have the pieces. We know we have the coaching. So
let's bring this train to the station. Your turn. What's next? Let's write one more chapter, most outstanding player.
Like they said, let's keep going. We're not done yet.
We're not done yet. Congratulations to you and your teammates. And
it's been a blast. Y'all watch
gratitude for what you've given to this conference, of course, to Beaver Nation and to women's college basketball. Outstanding. Well done, you outstanding player. All right, Points in the Paint. We'll be back in just a moment. This episode is brought to you by Jersey Mike's. Welcome back to Points in the Paint, and Mary, delighted to have you with us. Okay, let's talk big picture. We know Oregon State is going to the NCAA tournament. The story that will be told over and over as far as Beaver Nation is concerned. Where do you think they might land?
What matters is the opponent. And right now, if I'm playing Oregon State, I'm not comfortable with that because it's a team that believes, it's a team that finds a way, and it's a team that has certainly overachieved, but that they're going to roll into the tournament. I think it's going to be a really fun Selection Sunday to just watch and follow them on social media and just know what that celebration is going to be like, because this is something that nobody really saw coming back, especially last April and in the beginning of this season. And just, what a season, what an accomplishment. And especially to come to this tournament and you beat a San Francisco team with the 5 seed last minute shot. You beat Gonzaga with a last second shot. And then you take on number 2 Portland and dominate at times. You're plus 21 on the boards. You hold them to those 4 points in the second quarter. And it was just, it was something to see, something to behold.
Nobody had an answer for the Portland Pilots the last 2 years. Gonzaga didn't. 2 straight years. The Portland Pilots come in looking for the three-peat, and yet Oregon State had that answer.
They did, and they did it with just a myriad of players at different times really rising to the occasion. And whether they were seniors or young players like Allie Schimmel, they just came out and performed at a really high level. But you talk about Portland, a team that I would certainly hope we see in the postseason, because with all those seniors and all that talent and all that tradition, and I know their crowd's much, much better this year, and they just have had so much success over the years. You'd love to see them just be able to take the floor again.
And surely they will. A record-setting regular season for the Portland Pilots. They come into this tournament having won, I think, 12
in a row. Right.
When they won the semifinals. I mean, they had a lot of great things, leading the WCC, a great conference in so many statistical categories, and that veteran group. Surely they'll land somewhere in the postseason.
And especially when you think about Maisie Burnham and what she has meant to that program. I know we had her on Points on the Paint. Was it the second or third?
Second?
Yeah. And just what a great interview she was, and her passion and love of Michael Meek and that program and the institution. I just really hope we all get the chance to see them play again.
All right, how about Gonzaga? This is, the name of the conference, if you will. You look at Gonzaga and you think automatically NCAA tournament. They don't go in 2020 because of COVID. But I think it had been, if they don't go to the NCAA tournament, it's not looking good. Will they hit the postseason somewhere? I got to think they will.
Well, you would hope so. There's 2 tournaments, and with Yvonne Ejim, who one of the greatest players to ever play in the WCC, the Player of the Year this year, the Defensive Player of the Year. It's not the way you want to go out. You want another chance to take the floor and have an opportunity to move forward with all those great seniors in that program and the great freshmen in Allie Turner.
Washington State, can we make a case for Cammie Etheridge's group in terms of postseason somewhere?
Well, I would hope so. Is there a better young team? I think they're the team to beat next year, coming back in the WCC with that great freshman and sophomore crew.
1 senior.
All they lose is Tara Wallach, who is also on the podcast. If you want to dial back and check some old podcasts, she was sensational. But the job that Cammie did putting that crew together. This was a season, every team played 20 games. They played everybody twice. It was just so much fun to watch this conference just develop, and where was the intrigue going to grow, and all the close games and all the overtime games. It's been a really fun experience to just be a part of this, and this tournament was just off with drama. It was just off the hook.
So the top 4 seeds, we know Oregon State, obviously the champions, will go dancing. We're hopeful that the other seeds will land at a tournament as well to represent the WCC. It's been a great season. Gosh, Mayor, it wasn't that long ago when there were 6 or 7 teams that were either at the top, sharing the top, knocking at the door. It was that close from the get-go.
It really was. It's been a year of just every week. What was the intrigue? Yes. Were you home? Were you away? Were you up? Were you down? And it just was, there was just so much drama. And it's been fun to be able to cover that on Points in the Paint and really get into the nitty gritty. But more than anything, to get to know the players, the student athletes in this conference, a couple of coaches as well, and just get a feel for just how special it really is.
These players are a gift, and I'm really glad that you and I had the good fortune of sitting down with many of them and getting to know their stories, the stories in this conference. And I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, and what this Oregon State experience shows all of us is you got to believe, you got to work together, and anything good can happen if you do that, because, wow, they are the champions and they are going to the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
It's amazing.
After all that they went through last April, to your point, and they're watching selection Sunday.
And they know.
I mean, they're going.
That's right.
There's no at-large, this or that. Your champions, Oregon State. Congrats to them. Thank you for a wonderful ride. This has been really fun.
Let's do it again next year.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Until next year.